Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is NoobyNick, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the 10 tips beginners need to know before trying out VATSIM. Tip number 1. Have a pen and paper at the ready. A pen and paper makes your life so much easier, trust me. So for example, if you were given really long taxi clearance from the ground controller, it makes your life so much easier because you can just write it down and read it back correctly the first time instead of having him repeat it over and over again. Tip number 2. Think about what to say before you start transmitting so you're not at a loss for words. All it does is waste your time and the controller's time, so making each sentence quick and efficient is the way to go. Sitting there not knowing what you're doing can be really embarrassing for you, so making your transmissions quick is really important. You also need to be prepared to read back whatever the controller tells you. They may ask you to stay at a certain altitude or heading, and you have to read it back to them and perform the desired task. Tip number 3. Know your aircraft. If you're really good with a certain aircraft, fly that aircraft. Don't fly something that you have no experience with whatsoever. You might fly your favorite aircraft. My favorite aircraft is the PC-12, and I like it because it can fly both VFR and IFR very well. If you don't have a favorite aircraft or don't really have any experience with any aircraft, you can try flying one of the basic planes like Cessna 172 and get good with that, and then move up to the better aircraft. If there's ever a time that your aircraft might be glitching out and it's a problem with the game itself, the controllers are really understanding and they might let you reload your game or restart the flight. Tip number 4. Go into VATSIM ready to learn. VATSIM's 3 principles are aviate, educate, and communicate. All of the controllers are trained to help you, so if you ever have a question, you can just ask them, and they'll be more than glad to help you. You may be worried about making a mistake or messing something up, but I'm here to tell you that the VATSIM controllers will tell you what you did wrong, help you improve, and overall become a better pilot. There's also an entire learning center on VATSIM's website if you have any unanswered questions or want to learn a little bit more. Tip number 5. It's always good to stay one step ahead. If you can get an idea of what they're going to ask you to do, it helps you have a better understanding of what's happening, and it helps reduce stress and anxiety. You can also stay one step ahead by using charts. You can use taxi charts, departure charts, approach charts. Any charts you need, you should use. You can view charts via NaviGraph, or you can use VATSIM's partner ChartFox, which has a bunch of free charts. You just need a VATSIM account to use it. It's awesome. Tip number 6. I highly recommend you file your flight plan via the VPilot client itself, because if you try to file your flight plan on the VATSIM website, it's very complicated, very annoying. There's a lot of research that goes into it, and it's just stressful. Don't do it. You can easily save yourself about 20 minutes using the VPilot client. You don't have to put in all of that information. It's a lot easier. Tip number 7. Know most of the terminology in aviation. There's a lot of acronyms in aviation like ILS or RNAV, and you need to know what that stuff means. So do some research, watch some YouTube videos. That's what I did. I can't even tell you how many YouTube videos I watched to prepare for VATSIM. I've basically taught myself everything I know about aviation today, and I learned all of it by just watching YouTube videos and educating myself. So that's what I recommend for you guys. Take some time to do some research on the stuff you don't know and build your knowledge and get ready for that first VATSIM flight. Tip number 8. Work your way up. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, don't do it. Just wait. Maybe start off flying VFR circuits. Get comfortable with talking to ground or maybe tower. Then work your way up to talking to delivery, departure, approach, center. Just make sure you work your way up towards everything. Don't make yourself stressed or feel uncomfortable doing something. Just take your time and make sure you're ready for the next step. Tip number 9. These next two are optional, but I highly recommend it. Start off flying circuits or touch and goes. Touch and goes are a really good way to practice because you not only get more time in the airplane, you also get more time talking to the controllers, and you can start getting a feel for what it's like to get given landing clearance, takeoff clearance, taxi clearance. This will not only help you feel more comfortable, but it'll also help you prepare for your next steps in VATSIM. Tip 10. Use SimAware. If you go to Google Chrome and look up VATSIM map, click on the first thing that pops up. It should bring you to this website called SimAware. SimAware shows you all of the active flights on VATSIM. It also shows you where all of the active controllers are, their airspaces. It even shows you the ATIS. It has all of it written down in a box. It shows you what the letter of the ATIS is. So when the ATIS tells you advised controller you have, example, Alpha, this just lets the controllers know that you've heard the active ATIS and that you know all of the weather information. SimAware also shows you what events might be coming up. For example, if I hover my mouse over KSNA, it shows the date of the event and the name of the event. So there you go. That's all of the tips I've learned in the past 2 weeks of VATSIM. Hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!